The Omaha Health Expo is this weekend. About 10,000 people expected at Baxter Arena. Are you going? Well, you'll want to look for one of our next guests. In fact, both of them will probably be there. But author Stephen Druker is doing 2 talks about the health risks of GMOs. He's here with Michael Braunstein, the director of HeartlandHealing.com. Michael, welcome back. And Stephen, it's nice to meet you.
Good meeting you.
Michael, I'm going to start with you, even though, Stephen, I do want to talk about your book and some of what's in it. But this idea of GMOs, they're in the news right now. Explain why. What's going on?
Well, you know, they're really big in the news right now, Mary, because companies, it's all about labeling. And a little bit of a false flag there. But big companies have decided to label foods, and it's really bringing to the public the idea of what GMOs are all about. But we've got Conagra, General Mills, all sorts of big companies that finally decided, well, we're going to label foods that contain GMOs. And Mr. Druker, of course, can tell us much more about them.
How did you learn about his book? Was it just like you came across it someplace, or how did you?
Well, I've been interested in GMOs since the 90s. You know, I've always been.
Yeah, you're all about local and what farmers are doing in our area.
Real food and stuff. And when GMOs started out in the mid-90s, the first thing I did was write an article for the Reader newspaper about GMOs and the problems with GMOs back in 1996. And then the folks here at the Omaha Transcendental Meditation Center, Deb and Brian Smith, told me about Mr. Druker's book. And that's how, and when I saw the book, I said, we got to get him at the Health Expo.
Okay, so Stephen, what do you write about here? I mean, the name of it, Altered Genes, Twisted Truth.
Well, the main points are in the subtitle, how the venture to genetically engineer our food has subverted science, corrupted government, and systematically deceived the public. And the eminent world-famous scientist Jane Goodall has written the foreword, in which she states it's without doubt one of the most important books of the last 50 years.
And we know how important her voice is, period. And I know you're honored to have her as part of this. You know, there are just a lot of claims where people say it's not harmful. How do you counter that? I mean, some of these common points where, you know, scientists say, like, it's perfectly safe, these foods are okay.
Not all scientists say that. In fact, it's a major fraud to claim that there is an overwhelming consensus in the scientific community that these foods are safe. There never has been. In fact, the first comprehensive scientific investigation conducted by an independent body on genetically engineered foods was conducted by the Biotechnology Task Force of our own Food and Drug Administration, by the scientists there. They overwhelmingly concluded that genetic engineering entails higher risks than traditionally produced foods. It's just the administrators covered all of that up and claimed that there was a general recognition of safety in the scientific community when they knew their own scientists didn't say that you could presume they were safe.
Has anyone ever been harmed? I mean, do you have data to that point?
Well, the very first product of genetic engineering that was consumed by human beings that had been commercialized was a food supplement that caused a major epidemic. Dozens of people were killed. Close to between 4,000 and 5,000 Americans were seriously sickened. And the evidence as a whole points toward the genetic engineering in the process of creating that supplement as the cause of the unusual toxic contamination.
I think about the FDA and the world of supplements, because as consumers, like, that's where we're always kind of like, oh, like, what's okay, what isn't? What does the FDA do in terms of regulation with genetically modified foods? What's their role?
Well, the FDA's role by law should be to carefully regulate these foods and require that every one of them goes through rigorous testing to be proven safe before it's put on the market. That's the law. The FDA in this case has broken the law. They have let every one of these foods on the market without requiring one smidgen of safety testing. The FDA's own biotechnology strategic manager has admitted that this voluntary review process that the FDA has suggested manufacturers go through is not at all a scientific review, even for the foods that go through it. It's a rubber stamp process that has been put out there to give the illusion that the FDA is actually doing something, but they aren't. It's very clear the FDA does not require one iota of testing from any manufacturer of genetically engineered food.
Michael, you're shaking your head. You know, we know a lot of people want control over what they're eating, what they're giving to their kids. Is labeling the answer? Otherwise, how do you avoid them if you don't want GMOs?
Well, Mary, labeling is a step in the right direction, I think. People do need to know what they're eating. You know, my own steps include staying away from processed food, because GMOs are in processed food just from top to bottom. And I think that's the first big step. Stay away from processed food and then be vigilant and learn more about it.
Tomorrow and Sunday at Baxter Arena for the Omaha Health Expo, Stephen will be there speaking. He's got 2 talks to give. Everything's free. It's free to get in. And then you might have noticed as we were looking at Stephen and Michael, and you said, what the heck is Yoda doing? So give us a quick word about why you brought this cutout in, Michael.
Well, it's important to me that people come and listen to Mr. Druker about GMOs. And so Yoda is going to be here with us, right, Yoda? And actually, this is, of course, a cardboard cutout. I'm going to give away Yoda to people to a lucky person who comes to Stephen's Sunday lecture.
Okay.
And
Sunday
he has 2
only.
lectures, Saturday and Sunday. And I'm giving away an autographed copy of Stephen's book for the Saturday lecture.
Okay.
So get online and find out. I think it's noon on Saturday and 3 on Sunday.
And then if
2
you'd like
on
to
Sunday.
2 on Sunday. Thank you.
plug into what Michael's up to, you can do that online at heartlandhealing.com. Gentlemen, thanks for being here. It's nice to meet you, Michael. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Okay. The stars of Outlander joined us yesterday. Season 2 starts tomorrow. Katrina Balfe and Sam Hewen told us why they think viewers are connecting to this series. That conversation is posted at omahamorningblend.com. He's got restaurants all over in New York and LA, to name a few. Tom Colicchio is a James Beard Award winner, a giant in the food world. Next, how he's hoping to inspire the rest of us and what we're making at home.